3, 2, 1.
Hey buddy, hey everybody, welcome to a brand new season of the NRL. Unfortunately, not a brand new season of the Red Hot Underdogs. Still the same dusty, old, decrepit practitioners plying their very rusty trade.
Still the same old crap, eh?
Exactly. Correctamundo.
Same old crap. Mate, I don't know if you can hear, but there's screaming going on here. The 4-year-old's screaming, the 7-year-old's they're all screaming, and you know what? I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. Thank God for rugby league.
That's true. Now, hopefully I can get through this podcast because my daughter is extremely unsettled today. If I need to abort, I'm going to have to, but we'll see what happens. Being in your late 40s is not built for young children. Maybe I should have had kids earlier on in life.
No.
But be that as it may, here we are in a brand new season. So we actually started off in Vegas. Good old Las Vegas, Sin City. Now, those two games, the Knights beat the Cowboys 28 points to 18. The Knights were surprisingly very good.
Yeah.
When I say very good, I'm not going to say anything elite, but much better than I ever expected. And the Cowboys, as predicted in my prediction ladder, are extremely hot and cold and playing well below their potential.
Yep.
The next one was the Bulldogs 15 beating the Dragons 14 in somewhat of a controversial ending, whereby the Bulldogs got a piggyback penalty down the field and Stephen Crichton, the Bulldogs' best player and mainstay, an absolute dynamo, kicked a field goal. So they won 15-14. For their part, you know, the Dragons were good. Much better than I kind of thought they would be. Again, one of their problems is that strike power in attack. So, you know, that was it for Vegas. As far as the other games are concerned, the Storm 52.
Remember, last year we did we dressed up in cowboy stuff and, we're Vegas, baby Vegas, and we didn't do it this year, hey?
No, I'm old, I'm grumpy. People have too many expectations.
Yeah.
We don't always give you what you want. Sometimes we give you what you need, and sometimes we absolutely give you neither of the two.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then good old stiff, cold, hard shit. Too bad. But, it is what it is.
Next year we'll do it, DREWY. Next year we'll do the
Next year we'll dress up and do the whole 9 yards.
Next year will be better.
100%. The Storm 52 beat a very disappointing Eels 4. I feel shattered for the Eels. They had a pretty good pre-season. They did the best out of the trials. Again, a cautionary tale. Trials mean absolutely zero. You can look $1 million in trials and dip out in the first round. Yeah. Warriors 42 beat the Roosters 18.
Yeah, wow.
Again, a lot of fancy sides getting knocked off.
Yeah.
So we're in for a fairly unpredictable start to the season, I do feel. The Panthers 26 beat the reigning premiers 0. A big fat chalky donut for the boys from Brisbane.
Yeah, wow.
So, and I just thought Penrith played extremely well. I had them number 1 in my prediction list, and they showed exactly why. It was a good workmanlike performance, nothing totally out of the ordinary, but they never looked in trouble, never looked flustered, and always looked organised. Unfortunately for the Sea Eagles, our team, they got beaten by the Raiders 29 points to 28 in extra time. It was just very disappointing. Shout out to Canberra player, and I believe he's the new halfback, Ethan Sanders, who actually came from the Eels, playing his 5th NRL game, kicked the winning field goal from about 37 or 38 metres out. So very well done to you, young man. Very good player. And finally, the Sharks 50 beat the Titans 10. Poor old Titans.
Well, Titans. The
Don't,
the wooden
yeah,
spoons already.
yeah. I obviously had them at 17th in my prediction ladder for a reason.
Yeah.
And they gave us 50 reasons yesterday. Why?
I wonder if, I talk about this every year about a team not winning at all, you know? Like like how long before Titans win a game and could they get through the whole season and not win? Has any team never won at least one match?
I reckon it was like in a very bygone era, say like in the 20s or 30s or even in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
I don't think in the modern times, I think no matter how bad a side is, they usually sneak one or two wins in there.
Yeah.
We saw it a lot in the 80s where the Gold Coast Seagulls or Giants or whatever they were, they had about 50 bloody different names at
Yeah.
different stages. We saw back then quite often they'd finish with 2 wins for the season or 3 wins for the season. So at worst, they often eke out at least 2 or 3 wins. But I haven't seen it in the modern era, no.
Wouldn't that be funny too? I just thought because we had Grosy on last week that reckons
Yeah.
Gold Coast are going to win the AFL this year. What if Gold
Yes.
Coast won the AFL and got the wooden spoon in the rugby league? Wouldn't that be quite funny? That's
That would, I believe that would be a first for both codes, and I'd welcome it.
yeah,
Very interesting.
yeah,
And then in the existing match that is still to be played today, which we're not going to cover because, podcast comes early, Dolphins versus the Rabbitohs.
yeah.
See
Go.
if Wayne can, old Wayne Bennett, crotchety old Wayne can sprinkle a bit of his magic dust, not mantle beast dust,
Yeah,
on the Rabbitohs. I think that they're specials to beat the Dolphins today. I think the Dolphins will put up a good fight, but
yeah,
it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
yeah. So what do you want to talk about, Drewy? I'm keen to talk about Manly a bit more, or what's your plan? You're
I'm less keen to talk about Manly because it was so bloody disappointing.
well. Let's
Mate,
talk about it. Let's talk about.
well, okay, all right, it's our quick therapy session. I'll rip it off like a band-aid or like a vaginal waxing. The thing is Manly, as I've said before over and over, my favourite line coined by the world famous Drew Kiley, Manly have fucked up more leads than the KGB and the FBI. Last night was no different. Ran out to a 14-0 lead.
Yeah.
Led 14-8 at half time.
Hmm.
To their credit, to Manly's credit, they were behind 28-14 with 8 minutes to go and rattled off
That's 28
14 quick points in 8 minutes.
unanswered points to Raiders.
Mm.
For most of that second half. I actually went to the game, Joey. I went.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
I went with Ariana and Izzy, and it's raining, so like you can't
yeah,
get down anywhere, and we walk through like that new area where it's under shade, but it's messy there. There's a lot of
yes,
booze and a lot of 20-something-year-olds partying. It's a
yes.
great place to go if you're 20-something. I reckon, going to the footies, a great Saturday night, really fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess. I just don't think it's any different for any other age. I mean,
No,
you're there to watch the
no,
footy, aren't you? Just
no,
like, I don't know.
you're right. But I'm just saying it was very sociable there,
That's good. No, that's fair.
Not
That's
I
fair.
was. And then we
Yeah,
watched the first half and it was
yeah,
raining. You can't see anyone. And I just thought, the kids started whinging, let's go home. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
We've been here for most of the first half. Let's go. And so we went. And that's another thing I want to talk about. You know,
Yeah.
there used to be a time where you'd turn on a television, and if your television worked, you could just
Yes.
sport, and the sport was on.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
No, everything's behind a paywall or a streaming
And if you've
service.
got it, half the time
Yeah.
it doesn't work because it's like, oh, there's too many screens, or you got to update the this, or you got to do the hokey pokey. So it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
difficult, mate. You know, it's just difficult.
You know, one thing that never gets mentioned, I actually think that in some ways, this is a theory I have, the popularity and earning capacity of certain individual players in various sports actually reduces now due to the paywall system. Like streaming this, Foxtel that, pay-per-view this, you got to watch it on that, not free to air there.
Mm.
Back in the day, everyone, they were exposed to everybody. There wasn't the pick and choose and 50 million different avenues. So your exposure as an individual sports person, I think, was quite phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
a little bit better than today.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're just saying that there's more options for people to watch at that time when.
Yeah, more options.
Yeah.
And because there are more options, not everyone's watching the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when does anybody watch the same thing at the same time? You know, whether it's on YouTube or TV. And I tell you,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of news because some
In
people.
the 80s,
Yeah.
that's when.
And it's sport. Sport is the only thing that brings
Yeah.
people together to watch something at the same time.
Yeah. Like I was referring to an older time, like decades ago, when
Yeah.
there wasn't such an explosion of options. I think there was more mainstream recognition of
Right.
certain sports people because everyone was watching the same thing at the same time,
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially.
Um,
Like, okay, something might have been on 9 or 7, but then you didn't have Foxtel and Paramount Plus and this one
yeah.
and that one and the other.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be an interesting season. Just for the record, I thought the Las Vegas venture there, it was a solid 6 out of 10 for me this year. I wouldn't say it's running out of the magic dust. What
Is
ruined
that
it
it?
for
Is that
me
it, or are they going
is
to do it again? Are they doing Vegas again?
ah, I don't know how many times you can go back to the well. I'd prefer to journey to different parts of the world. What
Hmm.
I will say is what kind of ruined it for me. I thought the build-up was a solid 9.5, maybe 10 out of 10.
Yeah, oh,
What
big boy.
ruined the
You never
experience for
give
me,
anything 10 out of 10. That's your first 10 out of 10.
mate, the coverage was pretty brilliant. I am a hard marker.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I'll probably ever give a 10 out of 10 is the Red Hot Underdogs podcast because I'm looking through biased eyes when actually,
Yeah.
if you did it in AI, it'd probably give us a 3.
Oh, no.
And that's probably being generous.
Point three.
But
Point three. Yep.
but where I think it fell down was the huge stadium with the people in the crowd. There are a lot of empty seats. An
Yeah.
absolute sea, an avalanche of empty seats. Now, for the record, the actual stadium capacity for Allegiant Stadium is 65,000.
It's big.
Yes. So they claimed that they had 45,719 that attended the NRL for Vegas. I call bullshit. I
Yeah.
thought it was probably about 15 less than that.
Yeah. Okay.
A bit of fudging the numbers to boost your product. The only difference this year, though, thank God they fixed a few things. They had 3 games instead of 4,
Okay.
which
Yep.
which was really good because last time, by the time you got to the 4th game, I know at least in Vegas, let's face it, the most people that visit Vegas to watch that are people in their 40s and 50s. And by the time it got to the main event last time, the 4th game, they were all passed out in the aisle through alcohol consumption, boredom, and just 4 games is far too many to watch all at one time. So that's the one thing that they did do right this time. Anyway, Oh, and they also had no women's game, which was a departure from last time. The only thing I missed about the women's game was watching some 45,000 people watch two hookers in Las Vegas go head to head and toe to toe. And I just really hope now that my co-host returns to his seat, because this is a prolonged break and nobody, but nobody,
It's just
should be
ridiculous.
allowed to be hung on this much rope. But that's okay.
This
I filled in.
this
What happened?
it's no point even going into what's happening, but I
Good. I'm
can't
glad.
sit down,
I've
you
I've
know.
filled in the Vegas tenure for you. I went on a long rant. I filled in a lot of blank time. It's like you weren't even here,
Yeah.
or you were here, I should say. So
Want to relax. Do you know what I mean? I never get
yeah,
to relax.
no harm, no foul. I also want to bring in a brand new segment,
Oh
which
yeah.
I'm gonna do now, very impromptu. I now present the wooden spoon of the week. Now,
I like
this
it.
goes this goes to an
Better
individual
wooden
or
spoon in
team
the kitchen.
who
It's
had a really,
not better
really
wooden spoon.
bad week in sport.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my wooden spoon of the week goes to none other than Zac Lomax,
Oh,
who who is the Eels player who is now
Red Hot.
ineligible to play rugby league, not until 2028.
Mm. And how old
So,
is he?
sorry?
How old is he?
Oh, that's a good question. I should have researched that. I'm going to say Zac Lomax is about 27, 28.
In 2028, he'll be way
Yeah.
past his prime. And look what Alicia's brought. Show Drew for the new segment. It's
It's
not.
not a wooden spoon, but it's a plastic spoon.
Maybe we need to change it to the plastic spoon award.
It could be the plastic spoon award. Maybe that one might be good.
Yeah,
Wooden
right.
spoons done to death. Maybe the plastic spoon award. So, unfortunately for Zachy boy, he's out of rugby league for 2 years because he chose to sign with NRL, not NRL, R360, I should say.
Yeah, all
The
that's
rugby consortium overseas, they offered him the world, but gave him a lemon.
yeah.
So, unfortunately for him, it was meant to be a 10-year ban originally.
He getting paid.
So, what will happen now? I don't think he'll get paid by anybody now. No, he's walked out on his contract.
So
That's right.
he's not getting paid and he's not allowed
No.
to play and get
Well,
paid.
yeah, because that's right. Because what Parramatta did is they were very smart. See, Zac Lomax actually signed a preliminary contract with R360, and that was to solidify the fact that he was on their roster. And Parramatta didn't know about it. It wasn't the final contract. There's a final contract down the line. And then what Parramatta did was said, all right, fine. We're going to release you. We don't want you in our club. We're not even going to negotiate to have you anymore. Sign this contract. So they made him sign a contract that actually said for the remainder of his contract, that being 3 years, he can no longer play for another rugby league team, which was extremely smart business. And Peter Volandis initially said that this R360 deal was like a happy meal, a McDonald's happy meal. There was nothing to it, nothing to worry about. But by the same token, he absolutely torpedoed his own argument by saying anyone who signs with them will have a 10-year ban from the NRL, which
He didn't.
doesn't, to me, sound like someone who's not worried about R360.
Mm.
What are your thoughts?
Um,
But
well,
yeah,
so basically, he can't work. He can't play rugby. Can he play rugby union
he
somewhere?
can play rugby union. NRL, for the record, very quickly backflipped on that 10-year ban when they found out that R360 had completely folded. He can play rugby union.
And can he play rugby league in England?
Yes, it's just no NRL clubs.
Okay, well, and what's he going to do?
Oh, look, you know what? If I was him, I'd shoot for the Waratahs
Yeah,
and then see if he can get a gig playing for the Wallabies.
yeah, wow.
You know what? World Cup is coming up, I believe,
Yeah, it's next year.
maybe next year. I think there's not much time to make the team because I think the World Cup is next year for the rugby union. But shit, why not go for broke?
Yeah,
Got nothing to
it
lose.
really
So
could be. I mean, it could turn it around. It could be a success story, couldn't it? You know?
it could be. It could be a redemption story, but unfortunately, like the whole story was just like it was almost about greed because the money was huge, but a very dumb decision because R360 had offered the world, but they had no infrastructure in place. They had no teams. It was just a giant big gamble, you
I just
know?
had an idea. Okay, what do you think of this
Yeah.
idea?
What's
Every
that?
year,
Yeah.
the best rugby league and the best rugby union team play each other in rugby league and then rugby union.
I reckon that is a terrible idea. That's almost as bad as the AFL wild card round.
But
Both of them belong in the toilet and
but
deserve to
imagine
be
that.
absolutely flushed.
Imagine, wouldn't that
Yeah.
be interesting if they got all the best rugby league players, they got the best rugby union players, and they said, okay, the first half of this game is rugby league, the second half is rugby union. Let's see what
Yeah.
happens.
That actually has been peddled before. So,
Really?
yes, this isn't an original idea as much as you might think it is. They have considered that. It's never been done, thank God. I think the world is coming up with far too many circus events.
When
This
have
is
you
one
heard of
I'd
that
prefer
before?
not to see.
When have you heard that?
Oh, years ago. At least 10, 15 years ago, it was
Who?
peddled.
Who?
In the media, by people in pubs. Mate, it was everywhere.
Geez, I'd never heard of that. What did they call
Yeah,
it?
I don't know. Mate, you know what? When it was on, I tuned out very quickly. It was like a bad song you hear on the radio. I turned off the volume.
I'd like to hear about how, who thought of it. Was it just a pie in the sky idea? Did it make it to print medium? You know?
Well, maybe rather than going down a huge rabbit hole, we can do an episode on it at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that'd be good. Yeah. I'll just quickly finish up on old Zachy boy.
Yeah.
For the record, he then tried to go to the Storm, and then Parramatta said no to the Storm. So there you go. There are plenty more details involved in that, but I'm not going to bore you with them because
I
it's
mean,
like reading the
can I
bloody
just say this?
directory.
What if he was to say, okay, Storm, you're gonna have to give Parramatta money. Can't Parramatta are they missing out on money because of this?
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that. The Storm offered Parramatta $750,000 and Parramatta rejected it.
Mate, that's a lot of money, and that's for nothing. That's money for jam, you know?
Yeah, well, it's not many. See, but the problem with that $750,000 is Parramatta actually can't use that in their salary cap. Okay, they can buy some more footballs and use it for high performance training and whatnot, but they can't use it in their salary cap to buy new
Boo hoo.
players.
Boo hoo. It's still almost $1 million that they can spend on something.
Mate, they Parramatta Leagues Club would earn so much through poker machines. I'm pretty sure that every poker machine in the joint isn't out of order.
Yeah.
And they've obviously got plenty of sponsors. I think they're the fourth richest club in the
Yeah.
NRL.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're not short of a buck. As strange as it sounds, 250,000 to them is a drop in the ocean.
You said 750. Now you're saying 250.
Oh, sorry, 750. Thanks for being that. $750,000 is a drop in the ocean for them. So, what happened from the Storm's point of view? They said they tried to get one of Parramatta's lesser players over to them in order to lure Zac Lomax. So they've got Ryan Madison, who used to be a very good player, but is on the nose at the Eels. He's currently playing reserve grade for the Eels.
No. Go in another room, Alicia. Listen.
So what the Eels said is, we'll give you Ryan Madison. He's got 1 year left on his contract, which is worth $450,000. If you pay that $450,000, and we'll throw in the $300,000, that makes you $750,000. But obviously they can't use that in the cap. So they were they wanted Parramatta to offload one of their players. Parramatta goes, if you pay Ryan Madison's $450,000 salary for a year and then give us the $300,000, we might consider it. The problem is Ryan Madison wanted 2-year deal and, he wanted a 2-year deal with the Storm, and the Storm said, no, we're not prepared to give you a 2-year deal. And Ryan Madison said, well, I'm not moving down to Melbourne, and I didn't want to move down in the first place. So they're obviously using a crap player as a pawn also in order to get Lomax down there and for everyone to play happy families. But be that as it may, the story has ended in tears, and there you go. Well, it has for Zac Lomax.
I think you're talking about him.
Okay, one last thing.
And we're talking about just one player. Yeah.
No, I have got something else. One last thing. He didn't leave empty-handed. Zac Lomax did end up with an R360 bumper sticker for his car, so there's a positive.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in other news tomorrow, Opetaia, which I think you'll be interested in this story, fights Brandon Glanton.
Yep.
It was going to be, now there's been a fly in the ointment here which could seriously derail Opetaia's career.
I read this.
Yes.
And didn't understand what this article meant. So you can go over what does this mean? Do you want to read the article, or do you want me to read it?
No, if you want to say something, I've got plenty, but you can say something too.
Okay, look. Tell me if this makes sense, okay? It says here, Boxing Scene confirms the IBF has withdrawn sanctioning from Sunday's Zuffa Boxing 004 main event between Opetaia and Brandon Glanton. The fight will now proceed as an unsanctioned bout, meaning Opetaia's IBF cruiserweight title will be vacated regardless of the result.
Correct. So he's now been stripped of his IBF title. Now this is huge, because this means that some of these
has been stripped of it.
Huh?
Jai has been stripped of it. Why?
100%.
Why?
So here's the thing. Now, I was a little bit worried at first because he signed with this new Zuffa consortium who want to sort of, Dana White has teamed up with Turki Al-Sheikh.
Yep.
And
sounds good,
but not really. Not if you know the full details, because Dana White, the meathead, and Turki Al-Sheikh came in and they said, we are taking over boxing. We don't care about the other belts. We don't care about the other organizations. We are going to be the big dick in town. So eventually everyone's just going to come for the Zuffa belt, which is a stupid premise to base your whole thing on, because guess what? Boxing's been around for about 140 years. 10 minutes to go. To think you can just walk into town and stamp on people and say, none of the belts are going to matter because we're the big dick in town and the Zuffa belt is only going to matter. Mate, 140 years, and all of these belts have decade-long history. What, do you think the rest of the other promoters are just going to roll over and go, oh, sorry, Dana. Sorry, Turkey, Mr. Tea-Towel Head. We're going to sort of submit to you. We're going to be like good little boys and roll over and find jobs in McDonald's and Hardware House. even though that doesn't exist anymore. So what the hell? I should have said Bunnings, but I mean it was naive. So then Zuffa backflipped, and because I'm like, why is Jai signed with these guys? He wants to unify the titles. The other ones, apart from IBF, the WBA, WBC, and WBO, are going to be pissed as well at the Zuffa for bringing out their belt and saying, we don't care about you guys. So all the other belt sanctions are going to work together and they're going to freeze out Zuffa.
So Zuffa is a new belt?
Yeah, the new belt, and it's a new organisation that Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh have created, which is stupid considering the fact that boxing have enough black eyes and belts to begin with.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not just 4 belts. There's 400 belts.
Yeah, but there's 4 main ones, and that's what everyone's fighting for. Yeah, no one cares about the other ones.
Ring as well has got a, up there as well. There's so many of them, and so they've said, okay, here's the new one. It's called Zuffa Duffa, and we don't care about the others. But how have they said we don't care about the others?
Because they eventually want to be the one belt. They want to take over boxing. And I hated Jai Opetaia signing with them. But then what calmed my waters and might have my peace of mind with that is Zuffa then backflipped and said, because they wanted to sign a major guy. Jai Opetaia was their most major guy that they've signed, which says a lot because he's not completely mainstream, but he's the most mainstream that they've got. Now, in order to get him, they said, okay, we'll work with the other organisations. So yesterday at the press conference, Opetaia has his IBF belt there.
Yeah.
He has the Zuffa belt there. Someone asked him a question.
So
is there any tension between the other sanctions? He goes, no, we're all good.
How did he win the Zuffa belt? Or just was given?
No, sorry, that was in the middle of the table. Glanton and Opetaia are fighting for that. Yeah. But the Zuffa belt was on the table. It's to be fought for between those two.
Yep.
And he goes, no, we're all good. We've negotiated with the sanctioning bodies, this, that, and the other. And at the last minute, I think IBF have just gone, nah, screw you. You weren't nice to us when you entered, and we're not going to be nice back. And the problem with this is the other champions that Opetaia wants to fight have other belts. The main sanctioning body, now if both sides are alienated, Zuffa over here and the other 4 belts, that could mean danger for Opetaia down the track. Not only that, he's signed to a 3-year deal with Zuffa. This could have terrible ramifications for his career, getting the fights that he wants and eventually unifying.
So he has the IBF. Is he going to lose the IBF?
He loses the IBF.
Why?
Win or lose.
Why?
Because he's fighting for the Zuffa belt. And here's the stupid part is, the Zuffa belt is just some new ridiculous Mickey Mouse belt that bloody Dana White's mum probably made in the back garden shed.
Yeah.
A belt at Toys R Us is worth more than the Zuffa belt. Your Uncle Ernie's belt in his dusty old closet,
it's never been fought,
has more relevance than the Zuffa belt right now.
Never, but what the only thing that is valuable about this Zuffa belt, God, it's a stupid name. What's it mean?
It is. I think it means fight in Italian.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The only thing good about this Zuffa belt is the fact that old mate Turkey Towelhead is rich as fuck and can offer mad cash to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't see anything else that's good about the Zuffa belt.
That's true, and I think this is going to hurt Jai down the track because he cares less about the money and more about the legacy.
Yeah, but
he's all the.
Okay, but sure, but if someone with the belt gets offered a lot of money from Turkey, then it's there's a huge chance that they'll fight for it because money talks.
There is.
Money talks.
I
Okay.
will also say there is one more carrot in there, one more glint of hope for Jai getting the fights with Benavidez and Ramirez winner, which would be a huge fight. The winner of that would be massive. And Michaelian is also another fighter there where he could pick up a belt there too. So the thing is that Jai actually has the Ring Magazine belt.
Okay.
Now, that actually, what that is it signifies you are the very best in the division. There'll be other belt holders, but it just says that you're the very best.
So it is, yeah. Like people talk about the Ring Magazine belt as in it's a fifth belt. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
So
that's one little glint of hope. We'll see what happens. For the record, though, Turkey isn't the big, huge money mogul that people say is putting out all of this money. Yes, he is a millionaire many times over, but a lot of the money for this big events is through a company that he owns, General Entertainment Authority, GEA, and the actual Saudi government fund most of these big fights with Fury and Joshua and Usyk and Canelo. So I think the Zuffa thing might have come about because they've tapped old Turkey on the shoulder and gone, mate, we can't keep putting money out willy-nilly. We got to tighten our belt. And I think he looked at the UFC model and go, well, it's like a department store offering more when they first open. And then once they get everyone in, they start offering less.
I saw that episode of South Park. Have you seen it? Where
No.
they have a fun run in the town of South Park. And you know who funds it? The Saudis. Saudi Arabia fucking funds it.
They fund everything. Hey, Saudi, how about pouring some cash into the Red Hot Underdogs?
Yeah.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so this I like it's hard to process to say, will it
It's an absolute mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
Yes, but will it be good for Jai or won't it? It's hard to say that, but I guess you could say it's likely not going to be good news, but you don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look good right now.
Yeah.
There's a shitload to work through.
Yeah.
In short, he probably wishes he hadn't have signed with Zuffa.
Yeah.
It's put his career back a little bit here. We'll see what they can negotiate. Everything from here on is speculation.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, him and his team were probably extremely naive. And I think they might have been sold a few lies, to be honest.
His promotion company wasn't working, so he's made a change. He's rolled the dice. Okay.
Yes. Awesome point.
That's
an awesome point because he was getting no love from Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. He had to leave that. No love from the Australian media. At what point do you say, I've got to try something drastic? You're right.
Maybe it's going to I got a, just in the name of Star Wars, I got a bad feeling about this, but I've been wrong more times than I've been right.
Let's hope that we're wrong, that things do work out, and please, Australia, give more push to Jai Opetaia. Okay. Stop smelling the zoo's seats all the time after they've farted in them.
We've got to do an
Yeah.
More about this too, I feel.
Yeah, it's pretty elaborate.